It's Debatable with Mark Gray here on MLBbro.com.
HBCUs have long been a hotbed for Major League Baseball players until recently. And we are, after extensive research, ready to go on the record with our all-time MLB HBCU All-Star Team. And thanks to my good friend Jay Sokol from the Black College Nines, who joins us right now. As we build our all-time team, I think there's some things that people need to understand because the impact of HBCU baseball on Major League Baseball has been a significant one. You've got MVPs, World Championship MVPs from places that people would have never thought of. So there is a tradition there, huh?
Most definitely.
I would almost have to say, just looking at the talent, there's talent all over the place. But if we were going to call HBCU baseball legacy programs, you'd have to start with Florida A&M, Southern, and probably lead off with Grambling.
I agree. I agree with that assessment. Definitely Grambling has a long history of turning out players that move on to professional baseball and the majors.
Grambling is known as a football program, but the legacy of them is just crazy. I mean, let's just go back to that incredible 1969 uh, Miracle Met season. That was really after all the hype that you're talking about the pitching staff, which was great. But you look at the impactful players that came from black colleges. I mean, Tommy Agee with a big catch, Don Clendenin with that three-run blast. I believe it was game four, game five, where they obliterated the Orioles. That was supposedly a juggernaut, and really impactful players came from Grambling in New York. One of the real untold stories in the history of the Fall Classic.
Yeah, and Tommy Agee at that point was at the not the tail end of his career, but he was getting up there age and still had a fantastic series. Gosh, he could move out there in the outfield.
Talk about Don Clendenin for a second, because I happened to be at his athletic director's funeral covering it for a paper in the early stages of my career. I did not know that this guy, Don Clendenin, who, as an Oriole fan, took a chunk of my soul as a child, but we love him anyway. Um, I did not realize how great a player that he was in this thing.
He was just a fantastic athlete. At Morehouse, he played basketball, football, and baseball. And I think he won like 12 letters there. And I think the Harlem Globetrotters were interested in him. But he definitely made the right choice and went with baseball.
I know there are a whole bunch of Met fans that love him to this day for real. And when I tell them that he went to a place like Morehouse, they're often shocked. It's almost they're aghast. How did he come from a place like that? I want to go back for a second and talk about Grambling's foil in Southern, because there are two significant players from Southern University that stand out. And you can't have a list like this without the great Lou Brock. And then I guess about 40 years later, there comes a Ricky Weeks who started as an outfielder, according to his coach, Roger Cater. Roger said, look, you're an athlete. I'm going to move you to second base. He's a college baseball Hall of Famer. He's Silver Spikes, a Golden Spikes Award winner. I mean, what does that say about Southern's program, particularly under Coach Cater?
Well, Coach Cater has a knack of getting unsung players and really developing them. I think that the 2003 team had, of course, Rick Weeks, the second player picked in the MLB draft. But the year before, they had Fred Lewis, who was not quite as well known, but he was a high draft pick. He played with the primarily the San Francisco Giants. And then even the year before that, he had another kid named Mike Woods. I think that was 2002, and he and Fred Lewis. I'm not sure if Mike Woods, Fred Lewis, and Ricky Weeks all played on the same team together, but Mike Woods was a first round draft pick. So I think Roger Cater is at that time, you know, he got the best of what he could get. Because of course, you know, you're up against
Yeah.
a lot of good Division I teams, especially in that area.